These aren't for me. Don't know, you didn't see anything. You didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Good morning. Okay, today, not stepping on the scale. Not stepped on the scale for 2 days, and I'm waiting till tomorrow. And kind of the reason for that is I've got a little bit in my head about scale weight, and it's kind of been really affecting my mood and performance as it's not really been budging. I'm about 4 to 5 kilo heavier than I was this many weeks out last time, which is now, I believe we're 5 weeks out from the first show, 6 weeks from the second show. The second show is the main show. And then when I look at the scale and stuff like that, it's just kind of messing with my head. So Jake has wisely advised against checking in for a couple of days. Yesterday was a complete rest day. No steps, no cardio, no training, just a day of lying down. I ended up doing 6,000 steps, but that's just the nature of the beast and the type of jobs that we do. But it was definitely a lot less than normal in terms of output. So no scale being stepped on again today, so hopefully tomorrow it's playing ball and it's come down a little bit. If not, we will be making some more changes, because I'm at that point now where I feel like I should be suffering, and I'm really not. So yeah, it's one of those question days as well. So today we're going to run through a lot of Q&As that I've been asked on Instagram, on WhatsApp, and I did an anonymous questionnaire as well, which was on my Instagram as well. A lot of people have filled that in. So one of the questions is quite a simple one. How do you stay motivated on days that you don't want to do stuff? So yesterday, the day before, when the scale wasn't moving, you know, they're those days, you know, we all have them. I'm not perfect. I am going to get hung up on weight. I am going to have days where I just want to throw in the towel. So it's just about having people around you that keep you on the straight and narrow, keep your head above water, and also having a really good coach that knows that these sort of things happen, and it is all mind games. So I won't be stepping on the scale today, and that's why I won't be checking in today, but I am going to run through questions throughout the day that have been asked. So I will I'll catch you in the next. Okay, as you've probably seen many times, pre-workout meal is cream of rice and whey. So the amounts have come down. I'm only on 50 grams cream of rice, 35 grams of whey, but today I have changed, or not today, but the way I've started making this meal has changed. So I'm just going to run through how to make a whey paste. What we're going to do here, put our normal amount of whey in, a little bowl. As you can see, I've got a tiny little bowl, 35 grams, bang on. Works better with like cold water. We're just going to add a little bit and mix it. Now you can always take water, and what you'll see, the consistency almost ends up like a yogurt, and that is now going to taste like pure brownie batter. That's exceptional. Now, another question that I've been asked, this was on a client check-in, was why do I use pink Himalayan salt? Now, the reason I use pink Himalayan salt is, one, it tastes nicer, and two, it really helps, especially pre-workout. It helps with muscular contractions. It helps with hydration of the muscles, keeping the water in the body. So you can drink loads of water. It doesn't mean you're going to be hydrated. You need to make sure you've got the correct electrolyte balance in your body to make sure that you can contract the muscle properly and you're getting muscle to the muscle and you are staying hydrated. So it's not about drinking 5 litres of water. If you don't have a good electrolyte balance in your body, then it's kind of doing nothing. So normally what I do in the mornings is I go to bed at 7. That's when I shut my phone off to clients. I always wake up with a minimum of 20 WhatsApps. So when I'm eating my breakfast, I'll start replying to those. I'll do a few on the treadmill when I get to the gym and start getting some steps in. Again, I'll talk through that when I get there, but the steps just help this digest a little bit better. So another question, favorite inspirational quote. Now I don't necessarily have one that rings to mind, apart from maybe the scene out of Rocky where he's talking about life hits hard. So if you don't know that quote, go and TikTok and have a look. But a quote that I use quite often, I don't know if I've heard it somewhere, I've kind of made it up, is that discipline will trump motivation every single time. So you're going to run out of motivation, whereas discipline, if you are a disciplined person and you can stay regimented like I have done the last few days despite a few little wobbles going on, then you get through those tough days and then you get to a nice easy patch and it's the motivation comes back then. So my top 3 achievements in 2023, bit of a difficult one, but what I'm going to go with is my competitive season last year taught me that from the first year I competed that I'm pretty good at this, and I do have a good bit of genetics on my side as well. So the placing at the PCA show last year really was really nice to give me an extra bit of a motivation for this year. And the second one would probably be buying my second dog Reggie, despite it was a prep purchase and it was probably deep at the end of prep when I purchased him. And then the third thing would probably be setting up my own business of gym supplies and how well it's been doing since that. I think we started midway through September and now we're kind of the go-to on the Isle of Man. So again, it's I've always wanted to own a business and I'm happy to put hours and hours in, as you've seen, to grow that just as much as I've grown my physique. So they are my top 3 goals. And then off the back of that question was, what are your top 3 goals for 2024? So I'd say I've already achieved one of them, and that was to marry the love of my life, which I did in February in Mexico. So that one has been well and truly ticked off. So that is one goal down. The second goal is to, again, probably selfishly, is my competitive season, as well as Christy's competitive season. Obviously, I want her to do amazingly, but myself as well. I've got a few goals I want to tick, especially with PCA. PCA. A little bit of disappointment on the last show. I was wanting to do a little bit better, but the guys that shown up on the day were absolutely, head and shoulders above me. So been working on trying to bring that up so that I'm undeniable on the day. So PCA, we've got 2 bros, we've got FitX. So we've got a lot of shows to work towards, but to be honest, I'm more excited about Christy than on my own journey at the moment. And then my third goal would be related to business as well. So that's going to be to get gym supplies I've got a revenue target in my head, and I'd say we're about 20% there for the year. Obviously it's April now. So I've got a little bit more work to do, but I know the brand is going to grow. And as I get further into prep, I become a lot more switched on and a lot more driven. So that is going to help. And on the JW coaching side of things, as head coach, one of my goals is to grow the business, grow the client base, grow everything. So George and I are working on that as well behind the scenes, as well as all the other coaches. And we've got a lot of big ideas for this year on how to drive up our client base, how to drive more so the value that we give to clients. Everything I spoke about in the question related to why is JW so good, we want to make that more. I want it to be, it's £1,000 a month, and people are like, okay, because they want to be part of it. Price is no issue. They just want it to be, they want to be part of that. They want to see they want to be part of those results that people see. And that's my goal, is to just make it something that everybody wants to be part of. So as you'll see here, I don't even need a dishwasher anymore. Prep is kicking in. Those hungers are kicking in. And that's why I suggest cream of rice for so many clients when they start to get hungry. That was 50 grams. It was probably the equivalent of about 35 carb, something crazy like that. And I feel very full right now, and I probably will for the next hour. So as you used to see in the first video, I used to have pre-workout, I used to have 150 grams of cereal. Now I wouldn't have been able to eat 150 grams of cream of rice and then go and train. So cereal, Cocoa Pops especially, Rice Krispies, anything that's rice-based, super easy to digest. And cream of rice, a little bit slower, still very easy to digest, but a little bit more filling, satiating, and it's warm and it makes me feel nice inside. So it's time to head to the gym. You'll see a few clips of me training more than likely. And yeah, we'll go and get into it. So as you can see behind me, we have been very, very busy. And this is one of those things that does keep me motivated and does keep me going, is how well, you put a bit of effort into something, your physique, your goals, your business, and it will repay. Eventually, if you keep putting in the work, showing up every single day, giving everything to it, you will be successful. So as I start off most sessions, get some blood moving, get some steps in, aim for about 3,000, so about 30 minutes on here. I'll just answer a couple more questions while I'm on here. So tips for a newbie, understanding how and when to use supplements such as whey protein. Now, if you've got a good coach, it'll be in your plan. It'll tell you exactly when to have it, how much to have, and that'll be worked out, based on your body weight and your muscle mass and all that sort of stuff. But if you are uncoached and you want to use whey protein as a replacement for, say, a meat, say you're a vegan, for example, and you want to use plant-based protein, or maybe you just can't eat 6 chicken breasts a day, then protein powder comes in as a great alternative at that point. There's a lot of flavors, as you'll probably know, and I would say a typical serving size is between 30 and 40 grams of protein powder, which equates to, say, 30 grams is like 24 grams of protein. You want to be hitting about 20 per meal. That'll spike protein synthesis, prevent protein muscle breakdown, and it basically just stops your body from eating the muscle and keeps the muscle growing and repairing. You want to be having, I'd say 5 minimum, I would say maybe 4, 5 minimum protein meals a day with at least 20 grams of protein in. And your target really should be about double your body weight if you're looking to grow muscle. So say you're 60 kilo, 120 grams of protein per day. So hopefully that answers that one. Another question was, this one made me laugh. Why do you get up so early and why do you go to bed earlier than my 5-year-old? Is it better for fat loss? Now, you know why I get up so early, because I've got a lot to do in the mornings. I'm more productive in the mornings, I have more energy in the mornings, and that obviously lends itself to why I go to bed so early. And I think I covered quite a lot of this on the leg day, which was about sleep recovery. So I'm trying to hit a minimum of 7 hours. I got about 7 hours 40 last night. The sweet spot for me is 8 to 9, which I get on most weekends. And if I have a really early night and go to bed at, say, 6 and fall asleep at 6:30, then I'm going to hit that 8 mark. But unfortunately, most nights I get to bed about 6:30, so I'm clearing 7.5 hours. And it isn't better for fat loss. What's better for fat loss is picking a routine that you can stick to. And no fad diets, just a diet that you'll enjoy, a cardio regimen you'll enjoy, and more importantly, a training plan. Again, this is about longevity. It's not about, can I lose 4 stone in 2 days from making myself sick and drinking, I don't know, protein shakes and then throwing up afterwards. It's not sustainable. So join up. So I'm just going to jump into another question that I've had, and that was, what advice would you give to someone who's failing to progress on a certain lift? And the example I gave was dumbbell chest press. So I'm going to use this as my example. I've sat on this same weight for a long, long time. And for me, I feel it every time I do it in the muscle. I know it's working the muscle. I progress on other things like T-bar row, lat pull down. So I know I'm getting stronger across the session. But individual movements like this, sometimes you'll hit sort of a lull and you might not progress. What you want to focus on there is making sure you feel the time under tension, the form and everything is staying uniform across the sessions. There's no point in getting an extra rep if it's a couple of swinging reps or you're doing a partial rep or something like that. So you want to make sure your form stays good. And if you are really struggling, for example, on your chest press and it's your 3rd exercise, try bringing that to the 2nd or the 1st exercise and just switch the exercise order around. Or alternatively, change the rep range. So if you're getting stuck at 7 every time, let's change it up and do 12 to 15 as the target and drop the weight down and then bully your way back up to that weight. And then when you go back down to that rep range of 8 to 10, for example, you should be able to progress past it. It depends how long you've been on your training plan as well. I wouldn't suggest changing your training plan every 10, 16, 20, 40 weeks. I've been on this training split now for about 18 months and there's no need to change it. If I get stuck on an exercise for say 6 weeks, I'll chat to my coach. We might say, right, let's swap it for another variation, someone that hits the same muscle but on a different machine. Maybe we go from cables to dumbbell bent over row, for example, and then I progress that, and then I might come back to this and then notice that I've beat the range on it, for example. transparency, full prep transparency. Strength is crap. Strength's gone down like 2 or 3 reps across most exercises since we started prep. But body weight is also down about 5 kilos, so we have to take that into account. Rough the smooth, I guess. But it is disheartening. And to anyone else that's dieting, you know, it's going to happen. You are going to lose reps, but you don't just give them away. They have to be taken from you. So fight, you know, as hard as you can to maintain. And even if you have to do a forced rep at the end or a couple of extra spotted reps, and just get them done and get that stimulus in. So we're going to jump onto prone, and we'll see if I can match what I did 2 weeks ago on this. So that's pull finished, all done. I now have 20 minutes of post-workout cardio, and I've got another question on this as well. Is it better to do fasted cardio? The answer is probably no, as long as your cardio is consistent. I don't believe there are slight benefits potentially to fasted cardio, but for me, it just wouldn't work logistically. So again, my target cardio is 20 minutes. If I go really hard, I'll burn about 230 calories on the cross trainer in that period of time. So what I do is every time I do not get off until I've burnt 230 calories. Some days that'll take me 22 minutes if I'm feeling a bit tired, and some days I'll do it in 18 minutes. But if I do it in 18 minutes, I still stay on for the 20 because there's something wrong with me. So I always do this after I work out, and the reason why is if I had to do this before, it would zap some of my energy, it would deplete some of my glycogen, and I just wouldn't be as energetic going into the weights. And for me, weights is always going to be the number one priority for men, for women, anyone looking to gain muscle, burn fat. Weights should always be done first, cardio second, because you can jump on a machine and let it sort of drag you along and go through the motions, whereas when you're lifting a set of heavy dumbbells or doing a lat pull down, you've got to use every single gram of energy in your body. You want it to be as optimal as possible. So I'll jump on here and I'll catch you afterwards. So back from the gym, post push. I'm not supposed to be checking in officially, but I did go and do a round of posing and I recorded it, and I'll put some of those photos up on screen. I had a full rest day yesterday, and like I said this morning, very low steps, no cardio, no training, just a day of chilling out, try and give the body and my stress levels a little bit of a rest, to be honest, and it's worked wonders. So it was a lot tighter today. I haven't stepped on the scale, and I've been told not to step on the scale, and I'll bring up Jake's response to my check-in in a second. But yeah, was really, really happy with it. The session didn't go as well as I hoped. I am losing strength, but I'm focusing more on, at the moment, just maintaining strength and maintaining muscle. And I will pop up on the screen now the photos of that check-in, and I will just run through Jake's response. So it was 100% sharper today, looking a lot different a couple of days ago. Glutes have come in, everything's sharper, and yeah, then he sent me an audio note which I will play now.
Mate, it's glad to hear you feeling a little bit more positive for happy days. Mate, the staff scales, I don't need them at all for the moment. So yeah, we're good. Keep off on for this week. Just keep you where you are. But yeah, mate, definitely sharper today. Like, especially if you look at your back, the rear double looks mad. You got lines everywhere, mate. I can assure you, you are not behind for someone who's 6 weeks out. If I showed you some photos of Sammy from 6 weeks out, and you saw how he looked this weekend, you'd be like, oh, okay, fair. Trust me, mate, you're in a really good spot. I just need to keep your head in it, and we're absolutely fine, I promise you. So yeah, let's keep off the scales. Don't step on them until I tell you. So let's keep it like that, and we will go from there. Cardio, just keep it. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll put it up from Friday. Put it on tour. Obviously we had the rest yesterday, so I don't want you to then go in and absolutely smash this out for more duration. So just have, I think you just said you did today, 20 minutes. So let's just leave it for today, and then we'll put it up tomorrow or Saturday. And then we'll push on a bit more. But unless you ain't in a good spot, I promise you, I wouldn't just tell you we weren't if we wasn't either. Like you're obviously fine.
So yeah, I was really happy with that response. New posing going in with Faye as well, so doing that once a week at the moment, and yeah, I can see in these photos now I'm stressing about nothing, so I'm I just need to get out my head out my ass. So the main challenge is not letting these dogs eat my food. So I normally have creamy first because it will melt, and then I have the cream of rice because it'll still be pretty hot then. And then I use this time to sort of chill out. I'll reply to WhatsApps because I've probably got about 150 of them. So replies to all of the check-ins I've done so far. And also I do a bit of outreach in the morning as well. So I have clients that need daily check-ins, just me reaching out. I have clients that I message every 2 days, and I just have like reminders in my phone to say message these clients every 2 days, and I just kind of have a list. And some people I message kind of once a week. It depends on the needs of the client. Everybody's different. Everybody needs different levels of accountability and check-ins from me, not just check-ins from them, but this works 2 ways. So if I don't speak to someone for 7 days and I speak to them once a week on their actual check-in, a lot can go wrong. So again, kind of lends itself to why JW gets such good results, is because we're on top of it. We'll message clients at multiple points during the week. Some people struggle on weekends, so I'll message them on Friday to say, any plans this weekend? I'll message them on Sunday to say, how's the weekend going? So it's all, everybody's different and everyone needs different levels. Some people I'll just leave them to do their check-in once a week. They've been with me a year, 2 years. I know they're consistent. I don't need to check up on them, especially when they're new into it as well. So I will eat this. I've got a few questions that I will run through while I'm eating this, and yeah. Okay, a question for somebody who sat here eating a 140 calorie ice cream. A lot of people are scared of going into a bulk as they see themselves getting larger. This can affect their mental health and physical health. What is the importance of bulking, and can you highlight the benefits of a lean bulk compared to a dirty bulk? Now, off-season / growing phase or improvement phase is important because that's when you're going to grow good quality lean muscle tissue. You're going to develop a better physique from doing this. You're also going to help your metabolism get to a better place. So when it comes time to diet again or go into a deficit for a holiday, for a photo shoot, whatever it might be, your body is going to be better suited and better placed to actually reduce the body fat. If you spend months and months dieting and staying very lean, you're just not going to do yourself and your health markers any good. If you stay, say, sub 8% body fat all year round and you're veiny and you're lean, you're not going to get any stronger. You're not going to add any muscle tissue unless you're assisted. It's going to be a very, very difficult process to stay that lean, and your body's going to fight you every single step of the way. So going into a growing phase is a mindset shift. You need to switch from worrying about how lean you are and how veiny you are and how good you look to how strong you're going to get, and how it's all about performance at that point. And the scale is going to go up. You are going to get, your jeans are going to be tighter, your t-shirts and stuff like that are going to fit a little bit less. They're going to be less loose. They're going to be a little bit tighter in the areas you might not want them to be tighter. But again, if you're focusing on strength, then that shouldn't really matter. As for the second part of the question, lean bulk versus dirty bulk. If you are dirty bulking, you're going to be missing out on a lot of good quality sources of protein. For example, if you're eating steak, chicken, fish, prawns, whatever it is, you're going to be getting complete proteins there. If you're opting for a Rustler's burger or a KFC or things like that, they're going to be either not complete sources of protein. For example, a Rustler's burger, they're going to be high in fat, which is going to slow down digestion. It's also going to increase the overall calories, and unless you're tracking it and you're being really diligent with the tracking of it, you're going to be eating far beyond where you need to be to gain muscle. So you're then going to be gaining quite a lot of fat as well, and it's just not good for digestion. Like in my off season, I might have one off plan a week, and then the day after I really struggle to get all my meals in because I'm so not full, but I'm so, like, my digestive system's just not still processed, say, a Domino's. and I might want to go out for a meal. I go out for a meal and I'll eat something sensible. If I go out for a meal, I'll get a steak or fajitas. And the next day I probably will have a bit of a slower digestion, but it's not as bad as having something like a Domino's or, I don't know, a Greg's or whatever when you're away. So just be sensible with your food choices. So a really, really good question. What advice would you give to someone who's constantly improving themselves every single week, but struggles with the opinions of their friends and family as they do not understand the commitment it takes to stay on plan? Now, this is a really difficult one, and if you are going through a diet phase or a prep like I am, the first thing I would do is let everybody know that this is going to be, no off-plan meals. You can't go out drinking. You're going to have to sort of change your approach to social events, which is probably one of the hardest parts of doing what I do and doing what I get my clients to do. It is, and I do have lifestyle clients that I make an exception for, so they can have as many meals with their family as they require, but it's going to slow down the progress. So it depends on the sort of which side of this camp you're in. If you want to get the best results and you're a competitor or you've got a photo shoot, we're going to have to sort of cut that stuff out. And if you're a lifestyle client, we can most definitely make that fit in within your weekly or your monthly sort of plan. We can accommodate those sort of things. But in terms of like what I'm doing and photo shoots and stuff like that, I think it's very important to have a chat with the family, with your close friends, and let them know what you're doing. Say, I'm working on myself. Don't say I'm on a diet and I can't drink. Say, I'm working on myself. It feels really good and I want to keep doing it. And at the moment, that can't involve alcohol. It can't involve going out and getting in at 5 in the morning, because that's going to affect your meals, your calorie input, your calorie output, etc. So I think it's important to talk before you go into these things, so people know, and they're going to encourage you rather than discourage you. Now, a lot of people sign up for health reasons. A lot of people sign up for aesthetic reasons, and everybody's got their own different reasons behind it. So if your reason for why you're doing it is strong enough, then the opinions of others shouldn't really matter. In terms of friends, and this is a bit of a difficult one because I've lost quite a few friends, or not lost friends, but I don't speak to them as frequently as I did. Because at the end of the day, my real friends are still there. My real friends are at my wedding. My real friends, I go and meet for coffees. We don't have to go out drinking like we used to when we were 20. I'm 33 now. The idea of me getting in at 7 o'clock after standing in someone's kitchen until 6:30 a.m. is not as appealing as it used to be. So are they your friends? Are they a true friend, or are they just someone that you drink with, someone that you used to go and get drunk with, someone you used to go and make an idiot of yourself with, and they've never grown up and you have? So it is a very, very good question, and I struggle to answer it because every situation's different. But my honest opinion and my honest advice is, over the years, I've had friends come and go, lots and lots of different friendship groups. Some of them were big drinkers, some of them were various different other camps and stuff like that. So I now know who my true friends are. They're the ones that reach out and say, how you doing? I can see on your Instagram you're struggling for motivation, or you're tired, or they can just see, or they'll bump into me and they'll be like, oh, do you want to go for a coffee? Do you want to have a chat? They're the real friends, the friends that are there long term, the friends that are going to be there no matter. You might not see them for 6 months, you might not go out drinking with them, but they'll always be there for you. So they're your real friends. And obviously family, they should understand, especially if you say you're doing it to work on yourself. So I'll untangle Reggie from this tree because he likes to run around. And we'll finish off these steps for the day. Would you do OnlyFans? So I don't know who's asked this one, but that is my retirement plan. No, I'm joking. I don't need to. I'd rather change people's lives than sell my body. My body has been officially purchased now by Christy Hands, and yeah, no one else gets to see it unless it's a check-in or I'm on stage. So no, that might be something that I do when I retire and I'm a 60-year-old flabby old man. So another prep hack is 0 calorie or very low calorie. I think these have 1 calorie per can in them. Again, they're not going to kill you as much as
you know, the press and social media influencers like to say that, you know, it's going to kill you because it's got preservatives and sweeteners and stuff like that. If it keeps you on the plan and it stops you from, you know, going off the rails, then diet drinks are something you can keep in. As long as it doesn't affect your digestion, fill your boots. And there's so many flavors. We've got Pepsi Max Mango is my favorite. Pepsi Max Mango, you've got lime, you've got the cherry flavor, you've got all the Coke Zero range, Iron Brew Extra. There's so many different flavors nowadays. And Christy has a can pretty much with her lunch meal, and it helps fill her up. So just be careful, because some of them, like this stuff here, I believe is a lot higher calorie. So that stuff is 12 calories per can as opposed to 1 calorie in a Pepsi Max. So you might get caught out with some of them. Just because it says sugar free doesn't mean it's low calorie. Same goes for the no added sugar. So in this, per 300 ml of made, there's 3 calories. So if you struggle to get your water in, any of these with the like light blue labels on are absolutely spot on. The summer fruits one was my favorite on my last prep. So yeah, per glass, per 300 ml, 5 calories. Again, I drink 4 litres a day, so I'm not going to put that in all of them. I'd rather put in there some actual like electrolytes, which are 0 calories, or Hydromax, which is like taurine-based electrolyte product, and it tastes just as good. So for me, I stay away from that stuff now. I'd rather supplement with it and reduce those calories across the board. Okay, so here I have 2 innocent-looking bottles of water. Light blue is the one you want. So in this bottle, it's 1.5 litres. So in here, per 100 ml, there's 1 calorie. So if we times that by 15, that means there's 15 calories in that bottle. And this bottle is 10 calories. So if we times that by 15, there is, is that 150 calories versus 15? So massive, massive difference between the two of them. So this might look healthy and you might drink 2 of these a day. Hey, 3 litres. You've just consumed 300 calories and that you didn't even know it. So be careful of that. Stick to the 15 calorie ones. Blue lids are always good. So to all my alcoholics, to all my beer drinkers out there, beer is the devil. Hence why you get a beer belly. So in one of these cans, 440 ml, 170 calories. Let's say you're a hard man and you can drink 10. That's 1,700 calories of just beer. And guess what that does for you? Absolutely nothing. Gives you a bad hangover, makes you make bad decisions. If you're gonna make bad decisions and you want a hangover and you want to enjoy some alcohol, stick to spirits, stick to gin, slim lines, even whiskey. I'll show you now. Bottle of the Bombay Bad Boy. So in this sort of stuff, I don't think it tells you on it. They don't think they have to have their calories on it because they're empty calories. But I believe in a shot of this, it's about between 65 and 75 calories. Very similar to that of vodka. That's half of one of those beers. You know, you're gonna get a lot drunk, you're gonna get drunker quicker off of spirits, so stick to your spirits. Prosecco's not too bad. White wines, for example, I don't believe are too bad either in comparison to stuff like beer. And God, please don't drink cocktails, because porn star martini, depending on what's in it, you're potentially looking at, I don't know, 200-300 calories a drink. So if you are a drinker and you are a lifestyle client, then feel free to drink, but just be very sensible with your choices in alcohol. So post-workout, my rule here is post-workout should never really have more than 10 grams of fat in it. Obviously, off-season it gets a bit more difficult, but stuff like Rice Krispies, Cocoa Pops are rice-based, easy to digest, highly palatable as well. So per 100 grams fat, 1.2. Can't really go wrong with that. As opposed to, for example, Crave, which I say to everybody, you can have any cereal apart from Crave or Crunchy Nut Clusters. If we come down to the Cocoa Pop section here, again, the fat content in this is 1.9, so that is very, very low per 100 as well, so you'd have to have a lot of that. Cookie Crisp is another one as well that I let clients have, although it sounds bad because it's cookies. In 100 grams is 5.2, so if they're having 150, 7.5 grams of fat. Again, you can get away with them when you're in your off season. I wouldn't put them in at a diet phase. And then you've got here the devil. So this is basically just chocolate. So per 100 grams, 15 grams of fat. So if you want to really slow your digestion down in your post-workout window, then go for Crave. But that's why I put on everyone's plan, do not have Crave post-workout. Most of the other cereal you're okay with. Anything with chocolate in, i.e. Crave or the Tesco equivalent of Crave, you know, you're looking at 14 grams in that per 100. So you just need to be careful of them because it is going to slow digestion down. And the idea of a post-workout is you're replacing that glycogen. Your glycogen's been depleted during your session. You want to shuttle that glycogen straight back into the muscles as quickly as possible, obviously with a highly digestible, easy to digest protein. Something like whey protein, chicken breast, white chicken, white meat, even very lean mince meat as well. Some people have mince and rice after they've worked out. Some people have Cocoa Pops. Again, Cocoa Pops, yes, there's artificial stuff in there. Do we care? Probably not. Are we going to die? Probably not. I'm sure there's a lot, there's a lot of other substances going in people's bodies that are worse than Cocoa Pops. So another mistake that clients make very often is cooking in oil. And obviously, if you've grown up and you've always had olive oil, or you've used coconut oil, or you've used sunflower oil, whatever it is, the oil is going to be dense in calories. It doesn't matter if it's coconut or it comes from unicorns, tears, whatever it might be, it's still going to be dense in calories. So the 1 calorie spray stuff, obviously, I say limit this because you don't want to go 30 sprays and you've got 30 calories, but this stuff is something I use in off season when I'm trying to get calories in. Olive oil is good for you. There's lots of health benefits to it, but it also is laced in calories. So, for example, this bottle is 500 ml. I'm not going to say you're going to put 1/5 of this on your chicken, but let's say you do half of that. You say you go 50 ml, so that would contain 411 calories versus 5 sprays of that at 5 calories. And that's such an easy mistake to make. And when I have clients that first sign up and the first couple of weeks they're not losing weight, I'll say, right, let me know how you cook your chicken. And they'll say, well, I just put it in the pan, I put some oil in, and I'm like, right, stop there. And then they might have coffees with milk in, and then this all adds up, and it's very easy to just almost snowball those calories. So this sort of stuff, great if you're bulking. This sort of stuff, great if you're looking to lose body fat, reduce your body fat, reduce your your levels of whatever it might be. So I'll pop these back, and yeah. So back in the office again. So we've just ran through some form videos. I asked clients to send me form videos over, primarily for safety reasons, just to make sure that they're not going to injure themselves, and also to make sure they're getting the most optimal results from the training. I mean, there's no point going in the gym and doing it all wrong. You've put in the effort to go there, you're paying for coaching. We might as well get the most out of those movements. So just in typical style of today, I've got a few more questions. How do you stay consistent with your eating habits on busy days? So today isn't the busiest day I've had. If a pallet showed up, it would be. But again, when you're dieting like I am, your meal timings are religious. You are going to go and eat because you're hungry. I completely understand in an off-season setting that I did a few months ago, or especially the one back end of last year, your hunger's not there, so your body's not going to be like, you need to eat. So I set reminders, or I set alarms at periodic times during the day. So say 3 p.m, that's my late snack, so that will go off and I'll make sure I eat that. I won't snooze it. I'll just, whatever I'm doing, I'll pause and I'll go down and I'll eat it. And I try not to sit and work and eat, because then I associate it as, so I'll always just go and sit, and then I'll sit on YouTube or go on social media for that period of time, and that's my downtime. And yeah, so that's how I do that. And what was the other question? Have you noticed any changes in performance or overall well-being since adjusting your eating habits? So I'm going to say since obviously I started the whole fitness journey, then absolutely yes. Obviously my strength has gone up, my performance has gone up, and that's just a case of removing Domino's, removing Chinese's and Thai takeaways and stuff like that, and actually eating more structured meals throughout the day. So there's obviously a lot of science behind having smaller meals more often with high doses of protein for protein breakdown and protein muscle synthesis. I typically would wake up in the morning and I would probably eat nothing until maybe 12 o'clock. And then from there, I'd go to Marxie's, get 6 sausage rolls, or to the Buttery, where I would get chips, cheese, beans, and 2 sausages for lunch. Then I would come home, Christy and I would sit down and we would make an absolute feast. And we were laughing about this the other day because we didn't measure anything. We'd just get a full thing of 750 grams of mince, throw it in the pan, a full thing of chili con carne, a full bag of rice each, and a full 500 gram bag of McCain's sweet potato fries that we'd half, and we'd have this massive chili con carne. I'd have 2 wraps with it. And we worked it out, it's probably about 2,000 calories just in dinner, on top of my sausage rolls, on top of the milkshakes I used to drink, the orange juice and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I was well overeating. I wasn't very active. So yeah, it's definitely improved my overall health. It's also improved my performance as well. And again, it helps you be a little bit more disciplined with your day-to-day. If you're disciplined with your food and prepping and all that sort of stuff, then when it comes to business and work, you're going to be better at it because you're disciplined in the basic things in life, like eating. So if you're disciplined in that, then when you transcend across to your work and professional life, you just get better at it. I've not actually experienced anybody that's joined the gym, started a sort of transformation journey and got worse at their job. They always get promotions, they get pay rises, they pass exams, they go and look for more to do. Just like in the gym, you look for one extra rep, one extra kilogram. They're at work, they're like, can I do something else? Can I work that bank holiday and get some overtime? Then they get an initiative and they're saying, this guy's putting in the work, gets a promotion. It snowballs from there. So yeah, I'm just going to run through some gym supply stuff. I need to make some orders, so I'll go through that and book some stock and that arrived yesterday, and then I'll catch you later on. So welcome back. It is now 4:30, or it's about to be 4:30. I have just had about 3 o'clock. I had Ninja Creamy again, 25 grams of whey, 250 almond milk, and 30 grams of cream of rice. So it's a very small amount, but it's just a snack, that meal. Next meal will be my mince meal. But for now, we have a video training course with MK. MK is effectively Meg and Kuba, who are very well respected in the industry, very knowledgeable coaches, years and years of experience. And yeah, they've got a very good in-depth knowledge of the coaching industry. So they do a mentorship / coaching program that we are all part of at Team JW, that George kindly pays for each month to bring us on as coaches, develop our skill set. And yeah, today's topic is mental health. So we have a mental health one with Mr. Bike Banner. Not heard of him, but he's supposed to be one of the best when it comes to mental health. So we'll pop that up onto the big screen now if I can connect this to the TV. And Christy will join us, and Akos is here ready to watch as well. So we'll get into this now, and I'm sure it'll be very interesting. Okay, so end of the day, I actually missed out the deliveries for gym supplies today, but that happens around 3 o'clock. And yeah, now is the wind down for bed. So I'm going to talk through what supplements I take and why for sleep. And they've been added in recently because as you get to the end of prep, it's harder to stay asleep. You end up waking up for the toilet and then you can't go back to sleep, etc. So I'll talk through Trained by JP Dream Sleep, available at gym supplies. So this is a ZMA product. It's zinc, magnesium, B6. It's got L-theanine in. It's got B6 in there. It's got ashwagandha in there, more importantly, which is the stress and cortisol management supplementation. So that is kind of your all-in-one. If you were to buy all those ingredients separately, it cost you a fortune. So I don't quote me on the price. I want to say they're about 30 quid, and it's a month's supply, 4 pills a night. On top of that, I have melatonin, which isn't as easy to get a hold of, but you can get it online. This is a 12 milligram one. These are strawberry flavour. You pop it on your tongue, it tastes nice. I have that. And then I've got my vitamin C PM. I have 1 AM, 1 PM, 2,000 milligrams per day for immune health, immune support. And again, my PM supplementation, as you'll see here. The omegas always get stuck. If you have a look at that, they will all go down in one. Hopefully I don't choke and cough up on the camera. Presto. Right, so that's everything in. I'm going to make my last meal. Head upstairs. I've got a few check-ins that were late, which I do at the end of the day. I'm going to do them. Then I'm going to make my last meal, which is just a Ninja Creamy again with cream of rice, pre-bed, chocolate, berries. And if you haven't watched the full day of eating, we're going to pop it in one of these corners. I don't know which. Akos, that's up to you. And yeah, click that if you want to see the full day of eating, what I'm eating and why, and what it does to my physique to get it shredded. But yeah, aside from that, I think that's pretty much a wrap for the day. Remember to like, comment, even if it's just a little emoji of a bicep, it helps the algorithm. And make sure you subscribe as well, because that helps the channel grow. And I want to keep bringing this content to you, but I need to be seeing some sort of return on sort of engagement and followers and stuff like that. So yeah, if you want to help me out, all you have to do is press that little bell icon, a like and a comment on each video, and you're much appreciated. And I will see you in the next episode.